Okay, you've reached the part where you are now going to design a carnival game. And this is a game that will, if accepted, be used at Kyle Elementary for one of their fundraising carnivals. So have some fun with this, be creative, and I know you're going to look at all these papers and you're going to say, this is kind of overwhelming. What do I do? What order do I do it in? Where do I start? So I'm going to try to help you a little here with taking this in order and figuring out how to do it step by step, okay? All right, so start with this first sheet. And right here where it says Part 1, Invent a Game, this is where all of your brainstorming is really going to come in, okay? Think about games you've played, think about games you've seen, and if you're really having a hard time thinking about an idea, type in probability carnival games into YouTube and see what kind of other ideas people have come up with. Maybe you can borrow one of their ideas, tweak it a little, make it your own. But seriously, have some fun with this and don't just sit there and feel that you have to do something that you always see someone else do, or in one of the examples where you're picking marbles or throwing darts or the spinner. Have some fun, okay? But this is the main thing that you need to do. Talk to your partners, get some ideas together. And once you come up with an idea, then what you do is look at the rest of this paper and just read it. And at the bottom where it says requirements for your game, those are just things that you're going to have to follow some guidelines, okay? So the main thing you have to remember from this page is what theoretical and experimental probability are. But this is where you come up with your game idea. Don't go beyond this paper until you actually have an idea of what kind of game you're going to use. Okay? Once you figure out what kind of game, then you're going to come up with how you're going to play it. Okay? You're going to come up with 3 levels of winning. So again, this is where your compound probability may come in. Remember, to win in compound probability, both things have to happen. Or maybe in this case, for level 3, you would have 3 things. So now you come up with your rules of winning at different levels, and then once you have all your ideas together, write it down on this game proposal and turn it into your teacher, and then it'll get approved and you can move on from there. But do not move on beyond this point until you talk with your teacher, show them your idea, and get all that ironed out, okay? So those first 3 pages, that's what you should work with, and then stop until the teacher says move on. And once you move on, then you take your game and you start calculating theoretical probabilities. You're not playing the game yet. You're going to figure out the probabilities on paper. So just follow these next 2 sheets of Part 3. You can see you do all your calculations in here. But you're not really playing the game. You're not winning the game. You're just seeing what it's going to look like when someone's actually playing it. So theoretical. You're not actually doing it. You're figuring it out on paper. So this Part 3 paper, do that next. And then when you're done with that, this is where you actually build your game. Okay, you've seen that it works. So now you can move on to this part. You're going to build your game. And once you build it, you're going to actually test it. So you're going to record your results down here on the bottom. And then finally, after all of your results are done, you can put in all of your experimental and theoretical probabilities in here, compare them, and once you compare them, you can answer these questions on the back. And that is how you really should go in order. Again, don't think you need to do everything all at once. Just remember, take it step by step. And once you have everything all written out, then it'll get submitted to Kyle Elementary. Hopefully they'll like it, and they'll use it for their carnival, and everyone will have a good time. Remember, don't make it too easy to win. Be creative and enjoy yourselves.